to break out.
Last year, Zwift Academy opened its doors, launching a groundbreaking worldwide talent search to find the next pro rider for Canyon SRAM racing. The competition exceeded all expectation. Over 1,200 women from 51 countries signed up to take the challenge in Zwift. In a truly grand finale, on the island of Majorca at Canyon SRAM's training camp, Leah Thorvaldsen of Little Rock, Arkansas, was crowned 2016 Zwift Academy champion and the newest member of Canyon SRAM Racing. This year, it could be you.
Oh wow, I could have a shot at a pro contract, but it's for anyone. It's a huge step forward in your own fitness, and so it's not all just about the one person who's going to get a pro contract. It's a win for everyone who's involved.
Zwift Academy is this great program where Zwift is trying to get the women more involved. It's just this huge, to me, a great community. There's women coming up going, I get how this could fit into my life.
What I think is so nice about Zwift Academy, I really think that it was inspiring lots of women to take part in this adventure. Maybe they've gone far beyond their own expectations.
How far I got in Zwift, there were 1,200 females that joined, and there were 100 females that finished Zwift, and I can't believe I was one of them.
Yes, it's hard. Come on, you can do it, you know, just do your best. Because it's not just the physical side, it's the determination and to boost your confidence in anything else you do, not just cycling.
Find out how strong you really are. Find new friends from around the world. Find out if you have what it takes to go pro.
Do not wait, just follow your dreams.
Be the best cyclist you can be. Head over to academy.zwift.com to find out more and sign up today.
we go. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Zwift Community Live broadcast of the XRS ZTR race today. Our line wasn't on there for a second, so you all thought that we were muted, that you had the mute button on, but no, it was on me. Thanks a lot, everybody, for tuning in. Really quick, awesome announcements obviously taking place today that some of you may have seen in the world of the social medias, and lots of promotions going out there today about it, but definitely want to talk about the elephant in the room for sure. Maybe not an elephant in the room, but the amazing announcement of the Zwift Academy, Men's Zwift Academy Team Dimension Data, that is sponsoring that, or a part of that, and huge step forward for sure within the Zwift Academy and that whole program for offering up a pro contract to now 2 riders at the end of 2017 going into 2018. So as we head into the racing out on Zwift, definitely a lot going on in the community with Zwift, and probably a lot of plans being made right now for some of the riders that are starting to show up to these races, especially some of the younger riders who are going to get a shot at throwing down for those pro contracts, or pro contract. But we do have an XRS race for you today. The elephant in the room is Mr. Weiss got kicked out for being too good air freed. That's definitely a something that happened, but there's a lot of different bugs in games that happen all the time. I think that's, it's too bad that it happened yesterday. And I know Scotty was throwing down super hard. I've had plenty of different kinds of things happen during games that were frustrating at the moment, but I think in the bigger picture of the whole thing, Scotty got an amazing workout, and we were able to have a good race between Team Experimental and Team Vision as well during the XRS race yesterday. And Scotty, it'll all get taken care of. I'm pretty sure that won't be happening again, I would assume. Maybe we could test it out and see what would happen if Scotty went hard again like that for the KOM. I don't think it's that big of a deal, though. Air freed, it was too bad. But as far as big deals go, I think Scotty is a big deal for sure out on course, just being in Zwift. But I've had the cone of shame over me as well at certain points, where I was like, what the heck's that all about? But it wasn't in the middle of a race on a live broadcast, though, so that definitely was interesting. So T. Kayland here, though, we've got with FJ as well, chasing him down from the WBR team. Scotty's there, 6.2 watts per kilogram, showing up for the race today, maybe looking for a little bit of a revenge after the little bit of a pulling of his avatar yesterday in that race. So we do have Kim Little right along with him, hammering away. I wonder if perhaps be interesting to see if some of the riders from yesterday called in, if Kim Little might have used that same call in. I'm just going to double check. We didn't ask him to, but he might actually. No, it doesn't look like Kim called in to this. At any time, Kim, you can use that call in. I believe we can give you one at any time too as well, Kim Little. Would love to have you anytime. We do have Kim Cartwright here as well, it looks like. Tim Cartwright, 4.3 watts per kilogram. We're going to be watching out for him on a flatter course today, TT specialist, right along with Scotty. Scotty's going to have his work cut out for him today, being a much lighter rider, not at the same power outputs, just straight up wattage outputs. When it comes to what you can throw down in raw wattage on the flats, that is a huge advantage for a rider like Tim on the flat sections. And if we don't go uphill a whole lot and you don't grab onto the wheel of Tim Cartwright, some of the lighter riders might have some difficulty hanging on. It does look like it's a KISS team versus Team Experimental team out on course today. Our Young from PTZ right along with Pryor. They're just trying to hang on, it looks like. Does look like S. McNeagle here as well as Van Wessel now falling off the pace. About 9 seconds is the gap up to the main group right now. It's going to be a long race today. We've got a solid 31 miles, I believe it is. 31 miles, 49 kilometers. Out on course today. Aford saying, nah, this is easy coffee ride compared to yesterday. And definitely a lot easier because of the flat course. Not quite as much epic climbing out there. The pretzel is a crazy hard course for sure. Back at the C category here, they are hammering out up and over the climb, it looks like here, for... well, what do we got here? We got a lot of A category riders actually, right along with B category riders, but it does look like Kelly ZTR here, 171 beats per minute right now, hammering away. Let's go ahead and see how they are doing here in the C category. It does look like Jay Ferris from the BRT team as well, just hanging on about 42 seconds back from the front end of that C category. S. Robinson is here from the ZTR Racing here, as well as Wetterstrand coming out of Sweden. So that is the current situation in the C category with Kay Kelly here going off the front, but it looks like right around 1.9, 2.6 watts per kilogram off the front at 170 beats per minute. Definitely up into a crazy high heart rate, right around 2.9, 2.5 watts per kilogram. So not over category limits, I don't think. We'll see if Ferris can bring him back for the BRT team there. So no attacks just yet at the front end of the A group, though. As we get back with him, it looks like they're still chilling out, waiting for that main place out on course. That will be, actually, excuse me, Scotty Weiss going with Kalen here. 5.9 watts per kilogram off the front now for T. Kalen. And again, FJ from the WBR team here is the one that's going to close things down on the front. 158 beats per minute coming out of Belgium here. Kim Little just sitting on, not chasing down his teammate Scotty Weiss, allowing him to get away off the front just a little bit here. 6.4 watts per kilogram or so. So a few of you may have seen as we wait for the main place, which is the Volcano, that we'll see a lot of the action out there today. You saw the Zwift Academy promo for the women right before the race out there today, but the Men's Academy has been announced, and we do have some information for you on that academy and what that means. So for the women and the men, you can join for the men, this is the rules for the men. There is a Zwift Academy for the women as well as a Zwift Academy for the men. But for the men's Zwift Academy, you can join a global community of cyclists for a 6 weeks training program in partnership with Team Dimension Data, the World Tour Pro team. New and returning Zwifters, here's how to build fitness and give back. This year's Zwift is partnered with Quebeca, a nonprofit that donates bikes in South Africa. The more people that graduate, the more bikes that they'll donate, actually. And the top U23 graduate earns a pro contract on Team Dimension Data's Continental Squad. Good goes all around. So you can ride with the men's cycling squad on Zwift. Together they'll set goals and chase them down, working as a team to lift each other up. You complete the 6-week training program designed by elite coaches ready to inspire, enjoy group rides, motivating races, and structured workouts for every level. Graduate to Academy finishers get an exclusive in-game jersey and real-world prizes. Academy graduates within the 18 to 21 age bracket have a shot at a U23 Pro contract with Team Dimension Data Continental Squad. Also reward your training efforts by donating gear to Quebeca, one bike for every 10 graduates. The competition starts on October 23rd and goes through November 5th for the first part. The top U23 performers advance to the semifinals. Each wins a TAC X trainer, plus more gear to power them through this stage. So that is the semifinals, how to get into the semifinals. They'll face a challenging program of workouts, outdoor rides, and competitive races in Zwift. I'm definitely looking forward to covering those races. 3 finalists advance to the finals. The competition moves to Cape Town. The finalists get to spend a week at a training camp with Team Dimension Data. And then, gents, we have a winner in the third stage. It's 2017 Zwift Academy winner and newest pro cyclist on Team Adventure Data's Continental Team will be announced at the third stage of the program. So newly announced, that is on November 20th, that last part of the finalist takes place. So October 23rd is the date to be looking forward to for the top 10 to be announced in the Team Dimension Data, the new program that they have going on there. It looks like I do have Kim Little on board with us, has called in actually, and I do have his avatar here with us right now. 4.3 watts per kilogram steadily here, riding for Team Experimental. Good to have you here, Kim, with us in the broadcast. Good to see that you've tuned in with us for a rider on board. We'll definitely be keeping tabs on how his effort goes throughout the race. Looks like he heard me in the broadcast and jumped right on in there. Very quick to respond there, Kim Little, always on top of things, and good to see him hammering away in here. Definitely, I'm going to be interesting to see who is working for who out there today, or maybe just see who's got the legs. A lot of time that's how it goes for the riders out there with the team members for sure. So now seeing it is going to be the KRT team then, though, with Cartwright up at the front there. Kim Little now following up there at about 4.2 watts per kilogram. 134 beats per minute coming from Kim, so not crazy hard effort right now, but definitely a solid effort here at 135 beats per minute, though. So they're definitely taking it easy, just waiting for these tactical moments out on course. And we're definitely going to see, I think, some crazy power being thrown down in just a moment. The uphill sections into the volcano in just a moment here. The only places out on course where you really need to be super attentive, as those are the moments that are going to break things apart out here on course. What's going on there? A lot at Banjo, as well as Ignilslevi. Good to see you there. 34108 is what I'm going to call you. Clearly his Bluetooth is working, that's for sure, Rogers. Ifrit says, wait, K Little isn't completely red-faced today. No, he's looking pretty strong right now. Not too much distress just yet. We'll see if he's able to hang on, as Tim Cartwright now is kicking it up into that 8.2 watts per kilogram. The efforts are starting up, and this is what we were talking about here. Now Weiss following up at 12 watts per kilogram, going right on by. This is the moments for sure right here that we are waiting for. Kim now trying to close things down about 2 seconds back, it looks like. Steady effort there from him. FJ off the back just a little bit prior, trying to hang on from the BRT team right along with DeMost here out of New Zealand. We'll go ahead and give him a ride on 6.2 watts per kilogram, trying to come on by to get on terms with Heigel. Little now on the back there, just getting a draft there from FJ. Jay Lecoq there out of Canada from the KRT team, right along with Bruno Vieira from PTZ. Does look like Good and Plan Coaching is in here as well in the camouflage kit, trying to hang on to Cartwright and Weiss, who are going off the front. So it is going to be Weiss, Cartwright, and Hodges then at the front of this race, up and over the top of the volcano, but not going anywhere as it is quickly shut down. And I think we're going to see this time and again through the race as they come around each time on the volcano. It's going to be attacks up and into the volcano, and then from there I think they're going to be maybe some counters, as a lot of times the heart rates do get spiked through this section, and then you can see a counter attack from somebody who's got some crazy power to throw down on the flats. Hodges making his way to the back here looking for a draft. Looks like 152 beats per minute. Little heart rate very chill right now, 147, looking very strong still, and definitely not under any kind of distress. Weiss there at the front, I think, is the one who is doing a lot of the work, 162 beats per minute. Bruno Vera, 4.2 watts per kilogram from the PTZ team. Jay Lecoq and Kalen now following closely, making sure that they're not going anywhere just yet. So solid effort so far all around. They're still going to have 3 laps to go out there as they make their way into the finish of this first lap. 31 miles, I believe, 31 miles out there today on the flat volcano course, one of the more technical courses for sure out on Zwift. And we've got some heavy hitters today, that's for sure. If I go ahead and head on over to ZwiftPower.com, I can see in the XRS ZTR Tuesday Night Worlds 4 laps today. It's going to be a battle between some of the most successful riders out on Zwift racing, actually. Heigel here with the third and a win in the last couple of races he's done. Cartwright with nothing but W's from what I can see here. So definitely crazy strong. As always, Mr. Tim Cartwright. I've got two wins, actually, in the last two races I see from him. Kim Little, of course, a second, a first, and a first. Dame Mio, though, here. Interesting rider I've not seen out of New Zealand. Not super familiar with this rider. 53 races, though, out on Zwift. Estimated FTP of 341 watts or so. Julian DeMeo took a win in the WBR flat. Let's see, EVR Europe, though, took a win back on June 9th. So watch out for this rider. Not super familiar with him. He took a second in the XRS ZTR this race. One of the most sought-after wins, actually, is the XRS races, right along with the Europe KISS races, and definitely taking the second place in an XRS on June 8th. That's nothing to wink at, so definitely be watching out for DeMeo, I think, out here as he is jumping in. He also did the XRS ZTR DCAT, took a sixth back on June 12th. SCR Summer Race Series, that's also a very highly contested race series there back on June 14th. So the rider out of New Zealand, but now as I'm speaking about him being a threat here, 2 seconds off the back, he's going to have to close this down right now if he's going to be seen again here. 4.7 watts per kilogram, almost back on terms. It's 1 second up to the Gutenplan man there, up at 5.9 watts per kilogram. Kim Little here kicking one more time, up into 8 watts per kilogram, actually, making his way to the front, up to Cartwright's wheel. As you can see, the real life effort here coming from Kim as he closes that right on down now, and goes right onto the front of this race now. 2.3 watts per kilogram coming from him. PTZ now with the counter attack, knowing that DeMeo's off the back now. I think maybe this is a couple of moments that they saw. They were dropping one of the riders off, and the rider out of New Zealand, as we were just saying, had a couple of solid results back in June, but it looks like not going to happen today, as Cartwright right along with, it looked like Little, and then it was Bruno Vieira, I believe, also, who made the attacks at the front of the race. Gutenplan now going at 8.6 watts per kilogram. Lots of orange numbers through this section of the course. Not making it boring whatsoever, that's for sure. Lots of tactical moves on the flatter section. Able to drop one more rider off the back, so it looks like Pryor fell off as they came out of the underground on Ocean Boulevard. Now coming through the start-finish area, not actually through the volcano, it was Mayo, the next one. DeMeo there to fall off out of New Zealand. Again, 4 riders from the KRT team with 2 riders from Team Experimental, and then we do have, it looks like, PTZ in there as well. Hammering away. Gutenplan Coaching is here. It looks like riding solo for that team. And then, 3 riders from Team Experimental. I always miss Scotty there without the Experimental jersey on because of his World Championship jersey. WBR is in there as well. Don't want to miss them. And speaking of WBR, actually, they are similar to, I don't understand exactly how the relationship works, but I believe Quebeca is a part of or benefits from the nonprofit of WBR with the Buffalo bikes that do get given away to benefit those in the region of South Africa or Africa. So definitely related to the recent announcement with Team Dimension Data. So they're going to be giving away a lot of awesome Buffalo bikes to support infrastructure and growth and families over in Africa with new modes of transportation through that new program with Team Dimension Data and the Quebeca Foundation. So good to see WBR hanging out and representing, though, at the front of this race with FJ from Race WBR. Whenever you see that kit in game, you know that a representation of that same nonprofit effort that is being made to get those bikes into the hands of those who need them. So moving through here, we're going to see if we've got any interaction here coming through the VMix social. Definitely do have. It looks like Liam Bard saying, shout out to FJ Racing W Bar. Can't wait to join back in the fun in the off season. Liam Bard is saying, thanks a lot, Liam. Good to see you hanging out in that WBR kit. Actually, there I do see that. They've got it in game as well as in real life. Good to see. Nathan, Ricky wants to challenge you to a race. Steve Furminger is saying there. All right, well, let's go. Who's Ricky? Sounds good, Ricky. Oh, okay. I see Ricky White here. I love watching these live races. Sounds good, Ricky. All right, let's go right after this. We're going to jump on the bikes. We're going to get in Zwift. We're going to make sure you're calibrated so I don't have to race against a robot out there, and then we'll be good to go. And we can race right after this. I think we're doing a little bit of coaching actually right after this as well, so maybe you can jump in with that. Maybe a couple announcements later tonight to watch out for actually for the schedule tomorrow. Some cool stuff's going to be coming down the line with some live coaching I'm going to be hosting tomorrow. We got some testing for that today as well. You see me online, most likely on Zwift actually, with one of our new coaches. A little hint there. You can find out an Easter egg if you watch and ride with me immediately after this race. Car right here, 8.4 watts per kilogram, 166 beats per minute, right along with Weiss there for 7.3. They're about to kick it up out of Ocean Boulevard. This is a very smart move coming from Cartwright, putting the pressure on prior to even hitting the uphill gradient because it is such a short uphill. You put the boys up into the threshold or higher heart rate prior to even getting onto the climb, and then it makes it much more difficult to have the continuance up over the top. They do grab a little bit of time over, it looks like Jay Lecoq, but now he's right back on terms. Doesn't look like it's going anywhere just yet. So it's going to be Weiss here, 7.6 watts per kilogram. Able to hang on to Kim Little's wheel here. Not going anywhere just yet. Does look like Cartwright Hodge is able to make it there, and Jay Lecoq, nobody falling off, it looks like. Now, we are a part of an XRS race today, and Team Experimental, who puts on the XRS races, as well as the same sponsor, Cyclogent, for the Team Experimental, is also the main force, and sponsor behind the CVR World Cups. And the next CVR World Cup has been announced for September 16th, 2017 in Paris, France, actually. So they will be over at the National Cycling Stadium, actually, over in France, actually, on Saturday, September 16th. Make sure to watch out for more information. You can head on over to their website as well. I believe it is CVRWorldCup.com, I believe, but don't quote me on that. Also, if you search Cyclogent, obviously, as well. I do not have that exact information. Maybe somebody can link that over in the chats. That would be very helpful, actually. I think Kim Little will probably do it. Watch this. If I go over to Kim Little's call it, I bet you we'll see him on the phone linking it for us. He's always in chat, actually. But no, it's a little bit too much action, actually, during the race right now for him to handle that, I believe. At orange numbers left and right at the front of this. I thought it was going to calm down for a moment as they hit the flatter sections through the marina and past that bridge here. But it looks like it's not calming down one bit, and it does look like they were able to put a little bit of pressure here on David Gutenplan coaching there at 163 beats per minute, 9.4 watts per kilogram all day long here at 103, 104 RPM. The heart rate's really coming up now as he's trying to get back on terms. Kim Little now time 8.7 watts per kilogram. Cartwright there as well. It looks like Kim going right on by. The attacks are left and right. The countering is real here, boys and girls. 162 beats per minute right now as they are throwing down. And it looks like Kim here. Here's that effort coming from Kim Little here. Absolutely killing it up in that 6.5 watts per kilogram. We'll see if we can bring him in to a scene so we can see his avatar at the exact same time as they move through here. And I think, yep, we do have him here. And this is the effort here coming from Kim. 6.4 watts per kilogram. That's what it looks like in real life as he throws that down. 6 seconds he does have off the front there for Team Experimental right now in the XRS A race. Hodges trying to close it down. We do see Hodges here, 5.6 watts per kilogram. Scotty Weiss playing the smart card there with his teammate, going to the front, slowing it down as Kim continues on at 5.3. But he's got all of KRT's super strong riders. Hodges, it looks like, right along with Cartwright, two of the strongest men out on Zwift for sure. Sitting in their wheels as well is going to be Kayland. 3 KRT boys to deal with. So Kim Little is going to have his work cut out for him off the front here. But looks like he is able to throw down and hold on to about at least 7 seconds at this point. Thank you so much, Johnny. Appreciate the link there. It is World Cup worldcup.cyclogentrankings.com. worldcup.cyclogentrankings.com. Thanks a lot for that, Johnny. I really appreciate that. So now we do see it is going to be off the front here. Kim Little still holding on to that gap of 9 seconds, but we do see Cartwright now right along with Scotty right on his wheel, following that covering move. So what Cartwright's looking to do here is cover the move of Kim Little, and Weiss then is covering there the move of Cartwright. The moment that Cartwright goes, Scotty just jumps right on his wheel and makes sure that he gets dragged right along with him, so that Cartwright's attempt to get away brings right along with him the effort there of Scotty Weiss, and brings another Team Experimental rider into the fold of the break there. It looks like they are going to be grabbing at least 5 seconds actually over Bruno Vieira as well as Heigel. So it's going to be Weiss here with Kim Little and Cartwright off the front. Team Experimental now v Cartwright out on the flat course, but man, Tim Cartwright, such a strong rider, such a great TT rider, the winner actually of the last CVR World Cup that we had in London. Probably looking forward. I wonder if he's got an invite. We haven't seen the list of riders just yet, but this may be a prelude. I would be really surprised if it wasn't a prelude actually to the race in France, with Kim Little, who took second place at the CVR World Cup in London, Cartwright there, who took first actually at the CVR World Cup, and then Scotty Weiss, who was the winner of the initial, the first race in Roanoke, as well as a participant over in Vegas. So Scotty Weiss here, definitely one to be watching out for in this race today, and one to be watching out for maybe an invite to the CVR World Cup in France. So this is maybe a prelude right here, these three riders off the front for that battle in France, but we'll have to see if they are going to be on that rider list when it does get revealed here. But now it is going to be 8 seconds back to Bruno Vieira. Kalen there as well. He's not going to get a whole lot of help, as Kalen and Hodges are not going to be chasing down their teammate Cartwright, who I think they will have some confidence in for the win against those boys up front. It's going to have to be an attack from Weiss, I believe, on an uphill, and then a counter maybe from Kim Little. We'll see if that's what happens here. Cartwright maybe put on the back foot a little bit here. Now Weiss going the front, 6.4 watts per kilogram, and we do see Kim Little now allowing that to go, or no, a countering there. They can see that there is 5 meters between themselves, and they're actually playing a very smart card here, allowing or forcing Cartwright to have about a 5 meter gap between them, and then the rider at the front there hammering away a little bit, maybe trying to cause a little bit of a gap between them and the KRT rider actually. That's an interesting tactic. I actually used that tactic in Iceland against the Zwift team. You allow the rider at the front to hammer away just a little bit, and get a little bit of a gap, so that the riders behind have to actually chase that down. So you actually put yourself right in between the riders for the draft, and then allow the rider at the front to get away a little bit, so that the riders behind have to chase that down. If you don't mind chasing it down yourself in order to put a little distress, or if you just want that rider up front to get away. And that, it looked like that maybe what was going on there. Not positive though. It's definitely going to have to be every tactic that they have in order to hold off the juggernaut who is Tim Cartwright out there. Now 7.7 watts per kilogram, but Scotty Weiss now at one of his favorite times out on course, which is uphill, except for when the scone of shame comes upon him and brings him down the mountain, adding so much extra weight that it is off the screen. Scotty Weiss here, 6.7 watts per kilogram. No scones today, as it looks like Kim Little has brought them all and is at the back now, holding down the back of the group here at 6.3 watts, 7 watts per kilogram, 162 beats per minute now. Cartwright here, 7.6. Trying to make sense of anything Nathan's saying about scones at this point, but it is going to be 179 beats per minute, 10 watts per kilogram with the counter up and over the top of the climb here. Kim Little, Tim Cartwright, it looks like, out of Great Britain, able to hold on to Weiss's wheel, and it does look like Little is not going to be countering his teammate at this point. 3 off the front, 24 seconds. Hodge is not going to be closing this down, and it's going to be a battle for 4th place amongst these riders at the back of this group. So solid effort here. It looks like Kim with a pretty solid effort though so far, getting a little red in the face now. We are seeing it is up into As far as heart rates go, 159 was up in that 160s for a little while there. He doesn't beat out at too much higher. I think it is up in the 170s for a max there for Kim Little. So definitely a solid effort so far. And resting up, letting that heart rate come back down. Those moments out on course where it is crucial for those uphills have happened already, but now we are seeing 5.8, 6.0 watts per kilogram from Scotty up at the front from his teammate. And 247 watts though. 270, 250 for 5 watts per kilogram. Man, this boy, no wonder he is an Everesting world record setter, as I believe he is going for a repeat of that world record, though I'm not sure when that's happening. I'd love to get some information in chat if they can bring that our way for when that will be taking place. CS Tricks is making a call there for Lars for 4th. Zwift need to give SW the pro flag, World Tour only, because there are a lot of pros out there for sure. CS Tricks, there are a lot of pros out there, and so they reserve it for World Tour only. Otherwise you'd have everybody running the mill pro like Nathan Guerra, I mean whoever, getting the pro badge out on Zwift. Maybe they should too, but we do have Weiss here, 6.2 watts per kilogram. Daniel from Team X is 8th. What are we talking about here? I have no idea what you're talking about there, Rogers. What is this? Nathan said he may race. Don't ask, don't get. So how's it going there, Boss Boy 08? Good to see you. Wow, strong lineup here. Go SW and Kim Little, CS Tricks is saying. And we are saying, Nathan, you are a TB rider. You don't count. What are we talking about here? A TB rider. Tuberculosis? I have tuberculosis. I don't count because I have tuberculosis. Quickest ever Everest's, Rogers is saying. Daniel is, need some flag to prevent cone of shame. CS Tricks. Yeah, I agree with you. I think the cone probably just needs some adjustment. Is probably what it is. It might flag people too quickly is maybe what is going on there. If for the overall of what it needs to have done to it. I think perhaps giving every account that's out there a no-go on being removed might also make assumptions. And that was one of the, this is actually a conversation that would be really great to have. I'd love to have you in as a guest to have a chat about that, even CX Tricks or anybody. We need to actually get that going. Maybe tomorrow we'll have a little chat about this specifically, or bring in Simon Schofield and have a little Zwift Community live, Zwiftcast live. But I think, early on in Zwift, this was one of the conversations that were being had for sure, is that it doesn't matter who you are or what kind of results you have in real life. Calibration is calibration, right? And so this isn't calling into question Scotty right now or Kim or anybody that we're looking at on screen, but at the same time, having a professional contract in real life has nothing to do with calibration of trainers, and has nothing to do with whether or not numbers are accurate in the game. And so I think a blanket statement with a pro badge is probably not the way to go for objectivity within the platform. I think that more of just changing the parameters, perhaps. This is just my opinion. I'm not Zwift. I'm just a guy who watches Zwift races and uses Zwift a lot. Maybe, I think Scotty might be overtaking me in world leader though here for the most miles written in Zwift. But definitely, I think having just some different parameters about when the cone gets thrown down and pulls people from the game is probably the best way to go, rather than just giving people the auto to never get pulled from the game no matter what. So Weiss now 5.10 watts per kilogram there at the front there, with Cartwright 5.8. It is 39 seconds. This is the lead group of 3 now at this point. And it's going to be a battle between them for another 2 laps out on course, though. They've got, a lap and 3/4 or so to go. 15 miles total out on course, I believe, before they hit that finish line. It does look like for the chase group, it is going to be Bruno Vieira Island, and then Heigel, FJ, it looks like as well. So it is going to be a chase group of 6 out there with 2 of the KRT boys holding it down. One of the Team Experimental boys, it will be Heigel there. We are getting some saying that it is going to be him for 4th place out there amongst the riders. We'll have to see. A lot of hard hitters, though, from the KRT team to be watching out for, as well as FJ from WBR. Be watching out for him. 1 second off the front, maybe a little bit of room here being given to him. Heart rate's up in that 150s there for Heigel. Kayland now, let's go ahead and see KRT 148, one of the strongest climbers out on Zwift. 128 coming from Hodges, definitely resting up. 168 there from FJ. As then we are seeing Bruno Vieira here from the PTZ team. Let's see if he can throw down and grab a solid 4th place for the PTZ boys. Gutenplan Coaching is out there as well, out of the US of A. All right, now Weiss here, still steady here at the front, 168, 169 beats per minute. Just looking for a workout maybe today as he continues to hammer on at the front of this race, making it very, well, maybe not too difficult for the likes of Cartwright here. 158 beats per minute. Little now 135, just getting the draft. Maybe Weiss setting up Kim Little for an attack over the climb here out of Ocean Boulevard. We'll have to see how this ends up happening out of here. Kim can take a sprint. Go Kim, CS Tricks is saying. And so maybe Cohen needs to be more intelligence behind it, CS Tricks is saying. Not meant in a bad way, but just in general needs to be a smarter algorithm. CS Tricks, I am totally with you there. And maybe have a hidden badge of known in real life strong riders like Continental Pros, MTB, etc. And, you know, again, Rogers, I'm not sure about having the blanket statement because I've had rides before on smart trainers that have been miscalibrated a little bit, overestimating my power, I think up to 5 to 10%. So, and Roger's saying Scotty maybe setting up Kim, but still not suffering. And now we do have the attacks as Cartwright's going to want to try and get rid of these Team Experimental boys up into the 8 watts per kilogram, looking over his shoulder here, you can see. And this is almost like a rematch of the CVR World Cup in London with Weiss and Cartwright and Little here all battling it out up and over the top now. So kicking it one more time will be 12 watts per kilogram here from Weiss, looking to try and get away. 30 miles per hour is what they're doing right now. 51 seconds they've gone out to now at this point. Weiss now kicking again here, 8.2 with maybe a counter. Not going anywhere just yet. Kim Little just hanging on, it looks like, at the back of the group right now. 5.1 watts per kilogram. Looking pretty steady though. 170 beats per minute they're coming from Weiss. His teammate though, Kim Little, as we can see the real life effort coming from him with 3.3 watts per kilogram. Not in any kind of distress, just able to hold on to the wheels. Very tactical race, as you can tell today. Not on the rivet over and over again. Maybe going to see some counters though happening here. Weiss now going again, 7.1 watts per kilogram, and Kim just following the wheel of Cartwright there. And he does have a gap over Cartwright actually, 1 second. Allowing this rider, Weiss, to get away is definitely a dangerous move. He gets any breathing room, he'll throw down 6 watts per kilogram for the duration of the rest of this race. If you allow him to get the gap, he will absolutely bury himself out there today. 6.5 watts per kilogram coming from him, 350 watts or so, 180 beats per minute. Already a lot of effort out there, so not sure he's going to be able to hold on at that 6.9, but this is most definitely going to be the attack that we are seeing here from Scotty Weiss. His teammate Kim Little, we were just looking at there, sitting in the wheel of Tim Cartwright. Cartwright trying to keep it steady around 6.0 or so. 3 seconds back, though. It is growing. Now kicking one more time up into 6.2 watts per kilogram. 172 beats per minute, though, from Cartwright. I'm not sure he's got a whole lot more beats to work with. A whole lot of suffering happening here for Cartwright. He's getting worked over by Team Experimental here. Kim Little just sitting in the wheel, and you can see him. Now here comes the effort there from Cartwright. Now Kim standing up and out of the saddle, looking to follow Cartwright as Cartwright's trying to drop off Kim at this section out on course here. Kim now 7.8 watts per kilogram, sits down, just keeping it calm there, and it looks like he's still got 1 second though. Cartwright kicking one more time, 9 watts per kilogram, trying to break the Team Experimental train. Not sure it's going to happen. Fades again down to 0 watts per kilogram. Kim Little there following closely, but now 1 second gap. Will he be able to stay with it as the two juggernauts from Zwift here, Weiss and Cartwright, start to hammer away? Kim Little able to hang on though. It looks like nobody going anywhere anywhere just yet. Weiss, 181 beats per minute. Will there be a counter is the question here, I wonder. 163 beats per minute here from Kim Little now. Will he go after Cartwright has closed this down up into that 180 beats per minute? Cartwright's definitely in a spot of bother right now. This would be a moment for Experimental. I'm not sure they've got the effort, though, in the legs to do the 1-2 punch here on Cartwright. Not sure there is the effort or the ability even at this point as they're making their way over toward the fountain section out on course. It's going to be a lap and a half to go. Lap and a half to go out on course here. Cartwright versus Weiss and Kim Little from Team Experimental. KRT versus Team X. What a battle out here today between the riders. Heigel now going, though. 8.4 watts per kilogram following up Kaylin's attack, actually. We missed that, actually, with the action at the front now. 11.4 watts per kilogram here coming from Kim Little. Up and out of the saddle. There's the real world effort coming from him right now. Gets a little bit of a gap. Weiss now 5.2 watts per kilogram. Will Cartwright be able to go right along with him is the question now. As you can see, he was up in that 180 beats per minute. I'm not sure we're going to see Kim Little again. 9.4, actually 10 watts per kilogram coming from Cartwright. Weiss is going to have to follow this up immediately and hang on to that wheel. 11 watts per kilogram coming from Weiss now hanging on, as you can see, as he comes flying on by all the Tron bikes, glowing like mad out there. Kim Little holding on to 6 watts per kilogram as much as he possibly can. Cartwright trying to close it down up into that 180. Weiss going right on by. Will he counter? That's the question, actually. 32 miles per hour here coming from Kim Little. Now Weiss there, 35, closing it down, though, to his teammate there. Not actually closing it down. He had enough speed up and over the top. Will there be a counter then even from Cartwright? That's the question. No, 2.0 watts per kilogram, 178 beats per minute. I haven't seen Cartwright's heart rate up into the 180s in quite a while, so you know these boys are definitely working out here today. Now, it will be still all Grupo Compacto between the riders. Weiss here, 4.6 watts per kilogram. Cartwright there as well, 2.1, 170 there, 173. Kim Little, 155 beats per minute. Let's get back with the other racers, though, as this is going to be Heigel right along with Kaylin and Hodges trying to get back on terms with those riders. FJ, Bruno Vieira, now Goon Plan coaching out of the US of A has been dropped off. 244 back to Jay Lecoq. He's just going to pedal in for a lap, it looks like, out there as he's gone full on nuclear, blowing up off the back. Kaylin now 3.5, though, at the front. Heigel there from Team Experimental just chilling out. Looks like nobody's going anywhere just yet. Bruno Vieira making his way to the front, though. Is he going to make a move? No, nope. Just backing off the 1.7 watts per kilogram. Looks like it's time to bring the heart rates down before they make their way into the Volcano one last time. It looks like things are heating up, though, at the front of this race for Kim Little. Looking at him, wiping the sweat off the face there, looking a little bit red in the face there after a couple of attacks there. Solid ride so far, though, from Mr. Kim Little, giving him some ride on. Let's get him some ride on, some encouragement out there, as he has definitely been throwing down for the Team Experimental out there, trying to battle it out with one of the strongest riders we've ever seen, which is Cartwright, though. He does have his teammate, though, world champion Scotty Weiss, out on course with him, so we'll see if they are able to work over that man Cartwright, who's got the most wins, I think, out of anybody out on course. YFN is saying Kim better win. Looks like he's got a fan over at the Mixer channel for sure. Should have attacked. Attacks everywhere. CS Tricks is saying Cartwright must be thinking, what have I done to deserve this? And now we are seeing Ricky White saying, come on, Tim and Kim. So definitely a little bit of cheering on of the British riders out there today. If I was Kim, I'd turn the fan on. Definitely a big old fan right next to him there. Joe Gavin Richardson is saying, good to see you guys hanging out over at the broadcast. Again, if you would like to check out what that CVR World Cup is all about, worldcup.cyclogentrankings.com. Go ahead and check that out. Again, we do have Kim Little, who does ride for that team that is the main sponsor of the CVR World Cup. It has been announced, the date of it, over in France, actually, September 16th, 2017, as well as the location will be at the CVR World Cup Paris National Cycling Stadium, actually. So, Vélodrome National de Saint-Quentin-en-Yvelines. I probably got that totally wrong, but September 16th, excuse me, Saturday, September 16th. So make sure to keep your eyes out for all of the updates coming for that. Things have calmed down a little bit, but they're about to hit the climb one more time here. And here goes Cartwright, actually, up in 11 watts per kilogram, trying to break off the Team Experimental boys out there on course on that blue Tron bike from the KISS Racing team. Is able to get a little bit of breathing room between himself and the other riders. 5 meters. Now 13 meters back to Kim Little. Kim Little is going to have to seriously make a move here. Now up and out of the saddle. Look at the effort. This is definitely a moment for Kim now. Off the back by 1 second as Cartwright goes. Now Weiss is countering though Cartwright and going away. No, actually no, just sitting in, making sure that Kim gets right back on terms there. Kim does grab right on. There's his avatar getting right on the back of the wheels there. Now Weiss goes again. 9 watts per kilogram. Little there trying to hang on. Looks like he will be able to hang on, but now Weiss is going, and Kim Little just hangs on and makes sure he sits into Cartwright's wheel and grabs that draft. You see him sit down, calm down a little bit, and does not chase down his teammate, does not come around. What amazing ability to use the wattages there and the efforts in there to make the avatars do exactly what they're looking to do with the drafts, with the pack dynamics out there today. Now things calm down, and we do see Cartwright's heart rate still up in that 178 beats per minute now. Weiss are 180 right along with Kim Little, 164. That's what 164 looks like in real life. Right above me there, boys and girls, with Team Experimental and Mr. Kim Little right now. Hodges there now, 7.6 watts per kilogram as they're starting to kick it up and for fourth place now, battling it out up and over the top of the climb into the volcano. Now Hodges into 158. Kalen following very closely there. Bruni there able to follow. FJ's on the back there. It looks like Jay Lecoq has been dropped off from that group right along with the Gutenplan man. So Gutenplan off the charts now as well. So now we do have 5 riders. It looks like 1, 2, 3. Yep, 5 riders here. Team Experimental, Team PTZ, as well as the KRT team and Race WBR out on course, battling out for the 4th place today as they're going to head into the Bell Lap. Left-hand turn off the volcano, as we can see it there in the background with the lava flowing. Things are definitely heating up amongst the boys out here today. Cartwright now, 7.6 watts per kilogram coming from Weiss, though. 172 beats per minute. The heart rates have not dropped much out there today. Looks like Kim might have moved the fan a little bit, actually. Did he turn it on? I'm not sure. Where's the scones? You know, we need some scones on that table. I don't know what's going on here with Kim and the lack of scones right now. But there are no scones next to him. He's definitely got some weights there. You got to be and some arms up in the air. Not sure what's going on. Where's my scones? Somebody send that man some scones for his racing. He needs some energy out there to be hanging on to the likes of Mr. Cartwright today. Battling out. He's like, get me off the screen about the scones, Nathan. I absolutely love it, though. Thanks a lot, Kim, for letting us have you at the mercy of the broadcast today. And hope that fan's keeping you cool. And we do see now Scotty Weiss, though, 5.1 watts per kilogram at the front with Kim Little. His teammate, though, Cartwright hanging in there, 163. The heart rates are definitely dropping a little bit now. It is getting back to those jittery moments, though. The butterflies are going to be coming up into the stomach there a little bit as they're going to be having that feeling of, okay, what's going to happen? The unknown, you know, the moments of the jitters that you start getting going into the last lap. When are the attacks going to happen? They know the moments out on course. They are the key places. We all know those moments, those places out on course after doing 3 laps already is definitely going to be the climb out of Ocean Boulevard. There's definitely going to be the climb into the volcano. Also, the climb out of Ocean Boulevard, setting up the heart rates to get a little higher, some attacks maybe through the marina area out there as well. But then there's also going to be the final sprint, most likely, to the line. And now the smile there coming from Weiss. I'm not sure what that's about. A little bit of some sort of a smiley face about what's going to happen here. Not exactly sure what's happening. Maybe some people are chatting there through the Discord or something. Be interesting to see what they are chatting about if I were in the Discord. So now we do have, it looks like Argonian Pride away is a direction and this direction is mine. What is 4 plus number 5? I'm not sure, Argonian Pirate, but interesting question there. And now we are seeing Rogers out over at the broadcast over on Mixer. Good to have all you guys chatting away over there as well. If you're just tuning in, This is Zwift, real life efforts actually, out on a real virtual cycling game in which these riders are actually putting out real life efforts. We do have Kim Little, who is at the front end of this race right now. As you can see, his avatar at the back with Kay Little there on above his head. Tim Cartwright there as well, but that's the real life effort right above me, live from Kim Little, hammering away from his pain cave. Gone for now, don't wait if I slow again, Cartwright is saying. What's going on with that? What's happening with Cartwright? And a little message there saying gone for now. Interesting that Cartwright is chatting through there. Weiss now right along with, looks like Kim there, 3.4 watts per kilogram. Hodges now, it looks like this is the battle for fourth now at the back of this chase group. But an interesting message there coming from Cartwright. Not sure what's happening there, but it looks like 162 beats per minute. And the prediction here coming from Rogers is going to be Scotty with a breakaway. Kim for second, Tim for third, Lars for fourth, and fifth to Hodges. Interesting to see. So we'll have to see if that is correct. Let's hear your predictions. Who's going to take it amongst the front group today? We've got Cartwright, Kim Little, as well as the Masters World Champion Scotty Weiss out there today. So who's going to take the sprint? We'll have to see. Let us know who your prediction is out there today. Bring it on through over at the Facebook or over on the broadcast on Twitch or on Mixer. We'll be able to see those coming right on through. Let us know who you think is going to win. Again, we just had announced, though, today the Team Dimension Data Zwift Academy. For the men's Zwift Academy, for those of you who did not see the announcement, you head on over to Zwift's Facebook and you can see the new program that was just announced. It will be launching over on, what is the date for the launch here? Let me just double check the date for the launch. It's going to be October 23rd. The competition will go live, and the top 10 U23 performers will advance to the semifinals on October 23rd through the 5th, and each will win a tax trainer plus more gear to power them through this stage from October 23rd through the 5th. For September 1st through October 13th will be the initial launching, though, when you can jump into the competition, but the top 10 will be selected and then be battling it out over on October 3rd through the 5th. Then the second part of that program will be November 13th through the 19th for the men's program, and 3 finalists will be advanced to the finals. And they will be in Cape Town, actually, with Team Dimension Data actually battling it out. And then a winner will be announced on November 20th, actually, for the competition, and will be offered a pro contract. We'll get a pro contract and win a pro contract for Team Dimension Data's Continental team that is only open to those in the U23 category, 18 to 21. But the Zwift Academy, Team Dimension Data Zwift Academy, is open to all men to participate in, actually, out on Zwift and ride along with the team and get some amazing workouts in the 6-week training program from September 1st through October 13th. And we will most definitely be covering the races and rides right here on Zwift Community Live. Head on over to academy.zwift.com for more information on both the men's and the women's program for the Zwift Academy. Obviously the Zwift Academy for the women is launching at the same time on September 1st as well. And the group rides for the Women's Zwift Academy have already started, so make sure to check that out. Academy.zwift.com. Cartwright now kicking up into 7 watts per kilogram. Weiss following very closely there, 170 beats per minute. Kim Little, 136. Definitely looking very calm. Now up into 10 watts per kilogram. Here we go, boys and girls. I think this may be a moment of truth out on course right here. Kim up and out of the saddle, as you can see, has a little bit of a gap over the other riders now. Cartwright at the back there, 9.4 watts per kilogram. 1 second difference up into the orange numbers now. Cartwright's got to absolutely close it down. We lost Kim for a second there above me. We'll see if he can hang on with his internet as well as with the efforts at the front there. Looks like he's looking good again there. 3.9 watts per kilogram now coming from Cartwright, able to hang on, it looks like, and now everything's calming right on down as they make their way into the second half of Ocean Boulevard into the windmills and the marina, past the boats there. Let's see if they are going to have any dust kicked up again with the final lap out here today for this first place win in the XRS ZTR race today. Who's going to take the win? Will it be Cartwright? Will it be KRT? Or will it be Team Experimental with Scotty Weiss or Kim Little? Let's hear your predictions coming on through over at the Mixer channel or the Facebook as well. Jawiki Demon. No, I am not an auctioneer. I am not an auctioneer. Why would you play this, Lord Bose? Well, you get an amazing real life workout, as you can see above me here with Kim Little, absolutely hammering away on a bicycle. We've got a couple of internet issues with him coming in here for just a second, but you probably want to play this because you can ride a real bike against real people from all over the world, absolutely hammered against each other, as well as ride with professionals and all kinds of friends from all over the world in a group or ride or race or workout type environment. So I think that's why you would want to do that. Great workout, great training, as well as a lot of fun just hanging out with other people while you are on the bike getting in shape in a real world environment. So good to see you there. Well, a virtual environment with real world efforts, excuse me. Well, this is cool. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. It's called Zwift. If you haven't seen Zwift before, here's what's going on. I think we're getting those questions about why would you play this, because some people might not understand what is going on here. So we're going to do this real quick before we get the last few attacks out on course. So that is Zwift. For those of you just tuning in, we did see a whole lot of questions coming through, and people are wondering, why would you play this? Because they thought I had a controller in my hand. I do not have a controller in my hand. The controller of the avatar of Kim Little is right above me. It is his legs hammering into that bike right now, attacking Scotty White, well, actually attacking Tim Cartwright from the KISS Racing Team, actually trying to break things apart in this final half a lap in the ZTR XRS Tuesday Night Worlds race today, right now. This is almost a warm-up, I feel like, for the real-life esports event that will be taking place in France, actually, coming up on September 16th, Saturday, September 16th, 2017. So I have a feeling that this may be a warm-up for this, because I have a feeling we may see these riders at, I know I do not have the official riders list, do not quote me on that, but these riders have already battled out in real-life events on Zwift, actually, together, actually, in real life. So Cartwright, the winner of the first London event, but Scotty Weiss, the winner of the first CVR event ever that was over in Roanoke. So, and Kim Little, a participant in all of the CVR World Cups so far that we have had. So Scotty Weiss as well, actually, but Cartwright won that last one in London. So he is definitely looking to show off that he can win it today here in the virtual race here. But it looks like he definitely have his work cut out for him with the world champion colors there at the front of this race with Weiss and his teammate, Mr. Kim Little here. So it's going to be a battle to the line here. Kim maybe able to hold on to the wheels there of the rest of these two juggernauts here. We'll see if he can make that happen. It's going to be a battle though for sure. It's a flatter course. I think Kim's got a kick though. He's got a killer sprint, so definitely watch out for that. Cartwright can sprint as well, but I have a feeling that Kim might have the better sprint amongst the riders. Weiss with a dropout. No, there was some sort of 0 watts per kilogram there for just a second. A dropout there from Scotty Weiss for just a second, and you saw his avatar slow way down. If you go to 0 watts out on Zwift, man, it goes immediately. It recognizes that you want to stop. And so it's almost like you always have to have at least a little bit of wattage coming out there. And we saw a dropout, I thought maybe for a second there, but Weiss maybe just stopped pedaling for a second there and moves right on to the front there. 174 beats per minute. This is going to be the final climb into the volcano here in just a moment. And we'll see if they can break things apart here, if anybody from Team Experimental or if KRT here with this solo rider at the front is going to be able to make things happen. 2:30 it's gone out to now between the riders. Kalen off the front there from the KRT team, actually. There's 6 seconds here. Going to try and get away. Doesn't want to sprint finish, and he actually does have a solid effort here over Heigel, who's trying to close it down to 9.4 watts per kilogram, 35 miles per hour. This is for 4th place here, and it looks like he may be able to close it down there. 33. It is 4 seconds, though. 4 seconds between him and Kalen, and then 3 seconds back to the race WBR boys. Not sure that that we are going to see Hodges pulling that back in as he does allow Kalen to go off the front now. Now we are seeing up at the front, though, they're about to climb back into the volcano one last time. Going to come into the last 2 miles or so out on course, 4K or so to go to the finish line. Weiss now making his way to the front now. This is the final little 2-tier climb now as Weiss is looking at this right-hand turn in front of him. And it's going to be Cartwright, 5.4 watts per kilogram, 154 beats per minute. Now here comes Weiss now, 6.7, 7 watts per kilogram now coming from Weiss, trying to ramp it up now. Cartwright going first, though, from the front of the pack now. Looking at the back, though, it is going to be Kim Little with a little bit of craziness there coming from his avatar, doing some left turns over and over again. Kim Little now coming right on by 9 watts per kilogram, as you can see. Will he be able to get away with that effort? He does have 1 second over the rest of the riders real quickly here. Weiss there at the back, though. Little now has 11 meters actually over Cartwright. Weiss is just going to follow, I think, at this point, as Kim Little might be getting away. He's got 10 meters. There's the gap, boys and girls. Can he continue, though, with this effort? 167 beats per minute. Cartwright up into 178, following very closely, almost back on terms. Weiss now just sitting in the wheel, though, getting the draft from the rider right in front of him. It's all back together. Grupo compacto. Will there be a counter? Do they have anything left in the legs to counter after that 1 minute effort or so? 30 seconds to 1 minute up and over the top. It's not happening at this point. Nobody's going anywhere. It might be a sprint finish after all of this racing. 1 hour and 2 minutes almost of racing out on course. Heart rates up into the 180 beats per minute. What is going to be going on here? Weiss now 4.0. Cartwright there 4.8. Little now 3.1 watts per kilogram. Absolutely demolishing themselves out here today. It's going to come down to a sprint finish. I don't think anybody is going to be going anywhere before this finish line. These boys are just too strong for each other. Everybody able to cover every move. There's not enough uphill for Weiss to get away. The just raw wattages out here today definitely, as we said, matter so much more along with the drafting. There's not enough uphill for Sky to be getting away, but does he have the sprint? Who is going to have a sprint at the end here? One more short ramp at 1 kilometer. One more short ramp at 1 kilometer. That's right. There is one more little up, but that's about it. And it's going to be Kim Little, Scotty Weiss, and Cartwright again trying to battle it out to the line, just like we saw in London here today. The prelude, I think, here we are seeing for the race in France. We'll have to see, though, if that's what happens with that rider list. Where are the invites? Now, Scotty Weiss going from way out, actually. Does not want that sprint finish, actually, between the riders here. No love lost between them because Kim Little's following up, actually. Here's the effort from Kim, trying to close it down, actually. Here's his avatar now. 154 beats per minute, but 800 watts coming from Kim Little. Cartwright's off the back by 10 meters. Actually, the KRT rider has now been caught off guards. 7 meters meters, 6 meters. Does he have to continue? It's now 4.3 watts per kilogram coming from Cartwright now. Will Cartwright be able to close it down? Kim Little above me there with that crazy wattage now, up into 9 watts per kilogram though, coming from Scotty Weiss here. Kim Little 4.5 watts per kilogram now, and it looks like it is Cartwright. Scotty Weiss all together now. Will they be able to hold on? I think Little's having a little bit of internet issues as we were seeing his avatar going crazy there for a second, as well as his feed there above me there not coming in the best, but now it is all back together now. Kim off the front just a little bit actually. He does have a gap. He should go with the gap. He's got 7 meters. Nobody's on his wheel, but he doesn't know it. And now it's 31 miles per hour. Cartwright now at the front there, 31. Kim Little goes 8 watts per kilogram. He doesn't have him on his wheel. Cartwright's got no advantage. Cartwright has to go now. And this is it, I think, with this little bit of inattentiveness. It may be Kim Little for the win. He's all out from this moment. Look at him above us here, boys and girls. He has to hold on to the line. Will he be able to do it? 9 watts per kilogram. Kim Little for the win. It looks like it's going to happen for Team Experimental, but here comes Cartwright. No, it's going to be Weiss actually with 15 watts per kilogram. Weiss has 15 watts per kilogram. Here comes Scotty Weiss. Absolutely insane. Scotty Weiss wins it. Oh my gosh. From way out. Kim Little goes from way out, holds off just enough for Cartwright to have to chase it down, and pulls Scotty Weiss in for one last effort at 15 watts per kilogram, boys and girls. What an effort there from Kim Little and Team Experimental with Scotty Weiss as well. My gosh, I don't think Cartwright has ever gotten such a workout. I have a feeling Cartwright's like, that was the workout of my life up against those two juggernauts, boys and girls. Kim Little, Scotty Weiss, Tim Cartwright. What a show they have put on for us today. Amazing job all around. You guys better be raining ride-ons over those boys. 15 watts per kilogram, boys and girls. Oh my goodness, what a ride there from those boys. Moving our way back now, we're going to see what happens with fourth place, as they were a solid 2 or 3 minutes back. We're going to see if we can find those boys back here, but oh my goodness, what an amazing effort around. And that was just back and forth, back and forth. Now Kalen able to hold on to this 38 seconds. He was able to get away from Heigel, and Hodges actually was able to then close it down to Heigel, who tried bringing back Kalen. Was not going to happen though, and it looks like Hodges here now, 4.5 watts per kilogram, is not going to be able to catch his teammate, but that's just fine with him. It worked out exactly, I think, how they wanted it to, as Kalen is going to be pulling in this fourth place on the day. Kim Little, I think you can hear me. Do you have a mic that can connect to the vMix call? I'd love to chat with you. I'd love to chat with you, Kim, if you do have a mic that can connect to the vMix call. Kalen here now, we're seeing 5.3 watts per kilogram coming across the line. Then we are going to have Hodges here in a sprint for this fifth place, it looks like, here with Bruno Vieira and FJ now to the line, ramping it up now. We do see a little bit of an attack there coming from Bruno Vieira, going from way out. Heigel now up in the 10 watts per kilogram. This is for fifth place out there today. Kalen already came across the line for fourth. He was able to get away from these boys, but here comes FJ from the WBR with 300 meters to go. Goes flying by at 10 watts per kilogram. Hodges now ramping it up in the 12. Will he get into the scene? I'm not sure it's going to happen. 10 watts per kilogram, 13. Here comes Heigel though. 13 watts per kilogram, nips him at the line, as well as Bruno Vieira. FJ went from way out. It was, I believe, Heigel just barely nipping Bruno Vieira at the line there. FJ went from way out, just let him out, and it was GG, game over. Kim Little, give me 1 second. I'm going to turn on your call.
Yeah.
And I have you. All right, I can hear you, Kim. How's
how
it going? Oh my goodness, what a race out there today. And you guys looked like you were definitely trying to play some team tactics. Real quick, Kim, can you tell me, first of all, are you fresh? I mean, yesterday was a killer effort. And how are you feeling today?
I definitely felt better. Like, I wasn't sure I was going to do this one. I saw the start list, Hodges. It was going to be a hard race. And then Tim jumped in and Scotty jumped in. And I was like, well, I can't back out now, so I better go with it. But yeah, I'm feeling it now.
Yeah, I bet. I bet. But it's a good back-to-back, good training, I would think, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So then what was the tactic up front? I mean, obviously you got Cartwright in there, but then you got Scotty showing up. And was Scotty looking for a little bit of revenge maybe after yesterday? I mean, I don't see him racing a whole lot. So I'm figuring maybe he's just looking for, let's get a race effort in and a little bit of motivation.
Yeah, I think for sure he wanted to do a little replay from last. There was nothing planned. We didn't discuss it beforehand. But I think us Team X guys kind of know what each other are going to do, so there was no real communication. And Tim messaged a few times in game saying he was cramping up, so we tried to take advantage of that a little bit. Very appreciated. But yeah, no, it was a killer sprint by Scott at the end. Amazing.
Oh my goodness. I thought for sure you had it with that gap at the end there. So it sounds like there wasn't a whole lot of tactics, just communication as well. There's obviously tactics playing out in your communication. I mean, that's something to talk about, is that sometimes you get so used to racing out on Zwift and with other riders that the communication is just in what they're doing at any moment with their power. Right? And you can see their heart rates and stuff, right? And so you don't actually have to say a whole lot with Discord or any kind of voice communication. It does help. You guys weren't in Discord, were you?
No, not this time, no. But like you said, I can tell the way Scotty rides with him a few times, so I knew what he was doing, and I decided to sit on the back of those two guys because I know I couldn't compete with them watts per kilogram. So tried to rest up as I could and take advantage on the small climbs and bits where I could have a little advantage over them.
Right on. And so that last little kick, you had the gap there. Looks like it was going to be, I thought you were going to have it there, but that's a long 500 meters. That's a long 500 meters, isn't it? And difficult to hold on
that
to.
Far back, but when I heard you shout out, well, then go, I better go now. But it was maybe 100, 200 meters. It was worth a try, I think.
I wonder if I influence the race too much sometimes. But you had the gap. There was nobody on your wheel. I think it forced Cartwright to chase, which gave Scotty the speed and the lead out. Sure. And then he came through at that 15. So,
yeah, I think sometimes, almost the most obvious tactic until 250, 300 meters isn't always the best one. So if you can catch people by surprise, it often works. Catch them unawares. And it certainly did that.
Sounds good. And I think there's a lot of work going on. So this is almost a prelude, it feels like. I mean, you've raced all these guys a lot. You've raced them in real life as well. I know that you are doing a little bit of work on September with the France event. And we're looking forward to seeing more on that with the CVR World Cup and the XRS racing. So definitely great having you guys showing up for these races to hammer away with us out there. So Kim, I really appreciate you tuning in with us and jumping in for the post-race broadcast just to get some interview in there. So thanks a lot. Appreciate you jumping in with us, Kim. All right, sounds good. Talk to you soon. And that was Kim Little from Team Experimental, post-race interview. Great job to him today with the second place, able to hold off one of the most experiential racers out on Zwift, which is Mr. Cartwright, though. So, yeah, definitely solid effort there from Kim Little as well as DSW. And then, of course, Tim Cartwright holding down a third place out there today amongst an amazingly strong group of riders. All right, everybody, that was the XRS ZTR Tuesday Night Worlds race. We've got a whole lot of broadcasts coming up for you this week. And you need to race in Kiss EU soon. We'll see, Rogers. We're kind of going into another. I'll be out racing on Zwift soon enough. We'll get some training in the legs. We're doing a little bit of a restart on some of the fitness for Nathan Guerra here pretty soon. We started training again last night, so we'll be back out racing on Zwift soon enough. But yeah, thanks a lot, everybody, for tuning in. You can always check out what is coming up next over at ZwiftCommunityLive.com, as well as following all of our social media places and our live broadcasting places, Mixer, as well as Twitch, YouTube, and our Facebook. Those are all linked as well over at ZwiftCommunityLive.com. We'll see you for our next broadcast, which will be tomorrow special top secret broadcast right as of now, but we are going to have some workout rides going on tomorrow with a special guest. Make sure to tune in for that. Be on the lookout for what's happening there. We'll have some announcements on our social media over the next 24 hours. All right, everybody, thanks for tuning in. As always, great job to all the riders, and a big old ride on.